In this episode of Inner Mastery, we're talking about how to stop taking things so personally. It is amazing to me that people get so offended, so reactive to every situation, everything that occurs in life. I'm going to show you how to take your power back, how you can start to use life to build you up, to bring you into a conscious awareness about your internal triggers that need to go so that you can grow. There is so much within this. If you get value from it, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and if you're listening to this on audio, of course, give it a 5-star review wherever you're listening. Enjoy and dive into this one. I am not responsible for how you feel. This is something I need everyone to understand, that people are so quick to blame someone else, to say, it's your fault I'm feeling this way. I keep hearing this term microaggressions, that people are saying, well, you said my name incorrectly. You used the wrong pronouns. You talked about something that I found offensive. You like somebody who did something once upon a time that was just terrible, and how could you dare do that? And I see people getting upset. Oh, you didn't answer my text message. I can tell you read it, but you didn't respond to it. These little things that I see people just freaking out about, not to mention bigger things that occur. And getting so emotionally caught up and pointing the finger at other people. Here's the reality. The only one responsible for how you feel is you. It is an internal response. I talk about this equation all the time, and I think it's important to revisit it. The external world plus your internal response will equal your reality. Okay? The problem is that most people's internal response is completely unconscious. It is completely automatic. And so they discount that part of the equation, and they think the external world, this thing happened, and now all of a sudden I'm feeling this way. Right? This person said this thing. I got offended. I was doing fine until that person came around. So it's that person's fault. They shouldn't do that. No. You shouldn't do the magic trick of taking it so personally. All right? Understand that the only control you have in life, you cannot exert control over the external world. Try as you might, do what you will. The truth of the matter is there are things at play in the external world that you have no control over, and you can never have control over. And so you have to release the idea that you can control how people act, what they say, what they do. You cannot. You absolutely cannot. It is a futile effort. What you need to do is work on your internal response to life. How are you internally responding? And take those unconscious and automatic behaviors and make them conscious and deliberate. So I gave this example. I was speaking at an event one time, and I said, what if 10 of you just got up and left the room? How would I, up on stage, feel about that? And I said, call it out to me. And I had people saying, oh, that's so rude. Oh, I can't believe that. Oh, no one listens to me. Oh, I'm not important enough. I'm being abandoned again. Like all of these different responses. And I said, isn't it interesting how the same event, just the event's neutral. 10 people stood up, 10 people left. That's the event. But we have this way of looking at life through a lens, typically because of our past. Things that have happened in the past, that those sort of events led to a certain outcome for us. And so we now see things through that lens, through the lens of, well, maybe my response would be, I'm always being abandoned. Maybe you were left by a parent in your childhood, or you're always left by partners and you always feel like everyone's leaving you. And so when these people stand up and walk out, it's just confirmation looking at, oh, here again, I'm being abandoned. I'm being left. Or perhaps you're not used to being listened to and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm up here with the microphone. People paid to be here, and they're still not listening to me. They're still getting up and they're leaving. But that is a self-worth issue. That's the feeling of not being, heard. Maybe it's the feeling of not being good enough. Maybe there are things that happen in your life from your past that then cause you, when these 10 people stand up and walk out, to think, well, I'm not good enough. What I have to say isn't worth hearing. Of course they're leaving. The truth of the matter is none of those things is true. All of those things were an internal response to this external stimulus, right? The situation. 10 people leaving. And therefore, the reality that you create internal is different based on your internal response. The feeling of being abandoned, the feeling of not being good enough, the feeling like no one ever listens to me. Whatever it might be, you're creating your reality. Those 10 people, though it might look like? And it is so easy, and society will even confirm and affirm for you that yes, it's those 10 people's fault. They should not have done that. The truth of the matter is, you didn't need to take it personally. It was a neutral situation. Maybe those 10 people are going out because there's a surprise for you, and they're going to coordinate the surprise and bring it in. You have no idea. But our reactions are so unconscious, and they are so automatic, and they are from our pre-programmed memory. Our mind gets programmed by the past, by things that have happened before. And so our mind is like a database, and it goes, well, when this happened before, it wasn't a good outcome, right? I got abandoned. And so therefore then the internal response is to react to the situation in that way to try and prevent getting hurt again. That's what's happening. But sometimes the program in there is bad. It got programmed in wrong, and it's causing you to interact and react to life in a way that is absurd. If someone pronounces your name wrong, it has nothing to do with who you truly are. You're not even your name. You're the being experience being, Danielle in this life, right? You're the witness consciousness behind it all. And so to get so offended by something so simple, you are missing the point of life. Your ego is so overtaken in your being that you're having such an automatic programmed response that you're missing the fact that, hey, you're not your thoughts. You're not your emotions. You're the thing witnessing all that is passing by, all that is coming in and out. Stop getting so absorbed and upset by these things. It's not worth it. The moment you realize, hang on a second, I get to choose how I want to interact and react with life. I can choose to be open and patient. I can make that choice. And so that no matter what happens in life, I can be open, have a curiosity about what's going on, rather than making some conclusion and getting so emotionally upset going, hey, I'm going to be curious what's happening here. Because my internal response is one of like, well, I don't like this. Maybe if you're curious about what's going on, something else will be revealed. And this is what I want to offer to all of you. I'm watching so much intensity. I mean, right now here in the United States, we're a couple of weeks after our election, and I'm watching so many intense things happen. And it's so curious to me. And I watch it in my day-to-day. I watch it in conversations with people in my business, with the people that I'm coaching. They're getting so offended by the way their spouse said something, by the way their business associate said something, by the way this customer said something to them, whatever it might be. And I'm like, time out. Stop blaming them. The opportunity that is always available to you in every moment of life is for things to be revealed that are causing you to look at life through a lens, through a filter, that's causing you to not see what's actually in front of you as it is. You're filtering it through the perception of, I'm not good enough. People are out to get me. No one listens to me. I'm going to be abandoned. I'm not worthy. We are looking through this filter, and it's causing us to not see reality as it actually is. But it's so plastered on us that we don't even realize we're doing it. But every opportunity in life that comes, every external event, we have the opportunity to have an internal response to it and therefore create our reality. And so what I want to offer to you is think about your internal response. If your internal response can be openness, so now I'm not automatically responding to everything that happens. Now I'm creating some space. I'm being open. I'm watching the reaction happening inside of me, but I'm choosing a different response. I'm saying, I'm going to be open. I'm going to hear this person out. They have a very different political view than me. Let me ask them, well, why do you think that way? What has led you to this conclusion? What information, has allowed you to form that opinion? Have you looked at this before? What do you think about this? Be curious, be open. This is how we learn. All right. And this is how sometimes you're wrong. Sometimes you've got an unconscious bias. Sometimes you have information that's bad data in there. And so you're looking through a lens that's false, right? It seems very real to you because it's how you're seeing, but it's not real. It's like one of those filters on Snapchat or Instagram or whatever. It's like it's a filter that's filtering the world in a way that's not actually allowing you to see reality as it is. And so the opportunity that every interaction you have, every person that ticks you off, every situation that unfolds in a way that you don't like, the opportunity is to go, hang on, what is getting triggered inside of me? Why am I feeling this way? Because you're going to have a reaction to it that's going to be different than everybody around you, right? Something can happen and some people are like, oh, that was nothing. And somebody takes it so personal. It's like an affront to them. And it's like, no, that's you. That's a thing in you. And the opportunity is to go, what is this thing living inside of me? Which truthfully is just likely trapped energy, trauma from the past, a past memory that didn't actually get filtered out. It's a conversation for another day, but that is getting triggered. Something happened that triggered that. And so all of a sudden, this thing inside of you that feels very real, that you were fine until this event happened, but the event happened and now you feel this way. The truth of the matter is the event just revealed what was already there. I'm going to say that again. The event, the person, the situation, it simply revealed the reaction in you that was already there. Something that was living dormant, like a seed under the ground. And the right weather conditions came in and that seed sprouted up. And so it's very easy to blame the weather, but the truth is you need both to tango, right? You need the two to tango. Without the weather, we wouldn't have known it was there. That's true. But we're living with something that's a dark, low frequency energy within us that's going to be attracting in low frequency. So it's actually a benefit. You should actually be grateful that a situation has aroused that allowed you to reveal that, oh, that's in there. Oh, I didn't realize I had that lack mentality inside of me. I didn't realize I had that feeling of not being worthy, that I'm not good enough, that I'm not lovable, whatever it is, right? The situation has revealed it. Now your work is to go, oh, let me work on that. Let me start to move that through me and release it so that I'm not triggered by these things in the future. And also I'm not attracting in more at that frequency. There's a lot layered into what I just said. So you might need to repeat this one because this is powerful. This will transform your life. This will allow you to not get rocked by anyone or anything ever because you realize you have the control internally. And once you master how to consciously and deliberately interact and react to life, you're not at the mercy of anyone. You're not at the mercy of any opinion, anything that's said, anything that's done, any fallout that happens, nothing. Because you realize I get to choose how I'm going to interact and react to this. And I can choose to see the gift in all of it. I can choose to be open to all of it. I can choose to remain curious, to be fascinated, not frustrated. It's your choice. So I would love to hear in the comments if this is helpful to you, if you have questions with this. I appreciate all of you for being here, and I'll talk to you more soon.